Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. It is. One more time and one more day, man. And do not adjust your streams or your phones or your DSP, your device, no matter what you're doing. This is not Sunday Night Heat, but
I mean,
you know what I mean? But it mid-key just might be. You know what I'm saying? And hey, with that said, it is just time to get right into it and talk about wrestling like nobody else in the world. So that means it is time for the first Black Champ podcast, and I am still podcasting the Continental Champion, Camp from the Port.
and I am JR Bang. Make sure you rate, like, subscribe, download wherever you get your favorite podcast. Make sure you go ahead and get that merch. You see Camp with the yellow, sunshine, Black Champ, raising it up in the air. Make sure you follow us on Facebook at First Black Champ. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Twitter, FBC.pod, FBC_POD.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I want to know how was homecoming.
Man, all right. So, homecoming. The first time I went to UK homecoming in Lexington, Kentucky, aka the Lex. I learned that from a young brother from one of the times I'm in there. He's like, "Yo, enjoy the Lex, bro." So I was like, "I'll do that," and I've been calling it the Lex ever since. I will say this to you: I never seen Lexington look that black and beautiful at the same time. A lot of people, a lot of camaraderie, a lot of wings and burgers and crew juice and different kind of Greek concoctions and all kinds of things of that nature. I will say it's an interesting piece of culture shock, right? So they had the FUBU, the For Us By Us tailgate for all the Black alumni students right at the corner before you go into like where the stadium is. So throughout the entire day, it's just white people walking right through the tailgate. And 50% of them look scared to death. I won't lie to you. They look scared to death. But there was a certain percentage that was like, kind of want to stay here and kick it with these black folks.
Always. That's how it was at the Bears game. It's like, no, y'all coming back?
Yeah, because it looked like they're having a good time. You know what I mean? And it was a gentleman that I will affectionately call Adam because I don't know his real name, but he was out there and he was stepping. You know what I'm saying? I think he was stepping with the Capitals. I don't know. Please forgive me if that was not the right fraternity. I didn't join a frat of any kind, so I don't know anything about that. And also, overall, it's a very positive time. Did get a couple wrestling references off. Matter of fact, I'm going to save this for Bang when he hops back into the shot because I was able to meet one of the future Black wrestling stars, well, Black hopeful stars, superstars in the world of wrestling. I got a wrestling question off, even at the Black tailgate for the University of Kentucky. First Black champ is always on the move. First Black champ is always getting our thing together, and can't wait for Bang to get this piece of information and just so we can run with it. You know what I'm saying? As you know, if you are just a wrestling fan and if you are a follower of this podcast for over 5 years now, you know we do a lot of unconventional things and we show up in different places where you don't expect wrestling to be, with information that the average wrestling fan just may not be privy to. And I'll say it like this. Now that I see Bang coming back, I'll say it just like this. We could be embarking on a new federation. There you go.
Okay. A new federation.
So yes, most important thing in the world of First Black Champ news, because again, you and I, when we go out and about, whether we got on a wrestling shirt or we hear some theme music or we hear a reference or something like that, we always tend to find another wrestling fan out in the just the world, right? So I'm at the UK homecoming tailgate for the Black alumni, right? And then approaching, I was like, yo, I think I know that young lady. Ran into Big Flex, who's a Lexington native. You know what I'm saying? Most famously probably pictured with she is the young lady, everybody, if you are unaware of her. She's the lady that I took the picture with West Side Gun and was able to get her career funded in some sort of way.
Okay, yeah.
And as I was talking earlier when you stepped away, I was like, hey, I had a chance to get a question off or two to the young lady because she's possibly one of the Black female wrestling superstars, like of that next generation, the ones that's coming here. So got a little insight about her wrestling history. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to see where her wrestling fandom or love started as she did me. She's like, how long you been watching wrestling? I was like, yeah, since I was like 5 or 6. She was like, oh, it's like, damn, okay, so you really been watching a long time. I was like, yeah, that's me. Like that's me. First Black champ business. That's what we do.
Plus we grown.
You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. And she let me know that her origin and her love for wrestling starts with John Cena. And I was like, okay, super fair, because I think I'm like twice your age, so that's no problem with me.
Right.
That would be like me saying Hulk Hogan. Like, you can't really hate on me because that was 86 or 87, and that is what it is. So the most important part of this whole conversation is I asked her one question, because we see tweets, we see posts, we see things. And I said, hey, I need one wrestling question off, as I'm buzzing here, but I know exactly what I'm asking you right now. Said, is West Side Gun developing a new organization, and are you going to be one of the premier talents on said projected federation? She simply looked at me, got very serious, and said, I can't confirm or deny anything like that today. And I was like, oh, so what's on the way? And then she just looked, told me she had to get a drink, and she walked off.
It's all the time we have for the day, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I was like, okay. I was like, you know what? And when she came back and she hung out with us, I was like, yo, I'll take that answer. I was like, I'll take that answer because I think I know what's happening anyway. So I will take that answer. So yeah, man. I think all of West Side Gun's tweets, obviously not in vain, because he is a big wrestling fan. And I think that he is trying to shift or change another culture. And some of the moves he's making, and I know she got a direct line to him. I almost was going to ask her, hey, yo, call West Side Gun up for me real quick, man. I got something to say to him, man. But
hey, man, enough liquor in the system. I'm taking the phone.
Listen, right. Yeah, just like, hey, just import your contacts. Let me see. And we're going to just set up stuff here. But you know what? Reception was super terrible. We had to walk 2 blocks just to get the Uber signal to get the ride while the tailgate was going on. So yeah, your phone was bad business. I didn't do any, much of anything. And my battery was just going just from just peopling around. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, man. So hopefully, when some information like that comes out, I got a direct line to one of the future talents, and we will have to either get her on the show or get her on West Side on the show. We're gonna do something. But I will now that I have a direct link and a direct contact, we will not be short-sighted in bringing y'all any more new Black wrestling news as the First Black Champ podcast. You can believe that.
Oh no, man. Man. First of all, that's dope to hear. You know, man. And then plus, I mean, it's dope to be at a homecoming. I know I have not been at a homecoming in about 20 years.
Yeah.
We won't go into those details, you know what I'm saying? But life has changed.
Man.
But hey, man. Hey,
bake sale.
Right. Hey.
Bake sales. Hey, you want to see good bake sales? Mad cakes. Just First Black Champ podcast, man.
There
You
you
always
go.
hear it here first, man.
There you go. So look, man, got caught up in wrestling real quick. Looked at the tea leaves online, plus skimmed through and everything. So we can give y'all a great show. One thing we already knew, it was announced last week that Bray Wyatt was going to be returning to Smackdown, making his first appearance. It looks like he's going to be exclusive to SmackDown.
Good.
So we won't be seeing him on Raw or anything like that. Reportedly, allegedly, that's what they're saying. But he made his first appearance on the show. Very heartfelt and emotional promo.
Okay.
No, you want to start off by letting the people know that this is him talking. He didn't necessarily call himself by his government name, Wyndham Rotunda.
Right.
But he said, this is me talking to you. Talked about, him leaving and his self-esteem, his confidence went down. But it was the people, when they saw him or when they said something on Twitter about, coming back and everything, that helped him get through it.
Nice.
But then the mask that we saw at the pay-per-view at Extreme Rules popped up and basically told the WWE Universe in the locker room, hey, man, forget all this shit right here. Hey, man, y'all in danger. It's a lot that's about to happen.
Nice.
When we get back in this. And then it went off.
Nice.
I literally thought something went wrong with the TV. I had hit the Comcast remote and was like, Fox. And I was like, oh, go here.
Oh, show off.
Oh, show just went off. Okay. It was good, but weird the way it went off because, I guess we was expecting him to call somebody out. We were not expecting to thank you for everything. And it's because of y'all that I'm back. We was I think a lot of people were expecting like whoever is in the main event getting their ass beat.
Gotcha.
And it didn't happen. But I didn't see anybody pan the return of Bray Wyatt and his first promo back. But with that being said, my question to you is just getting straight to the point. Who should Bray Wyatt or this new version of Bray Wyatt, who should he attack? Who should be his first victim?
Man, so this is difficult for me because honestly, I sat and thought about it, and my immediate answer was nobody. Nobody. I think this is the whole aspect of Bray Wyatt being the attraction and being somebody worth seeing no matter what is happening on SmackDown, right? Because the obvious and the make most sense answers are the bloodline, right? And not even just Roman Reigns. Like he could start with Sammy, he could start with Solo, he could start with one of the Usos, and it would all make perfect sense. He could also aim for Drew McIntyre, but he's already got the program with Karrion Kross. So honestly, I don't have anyone guaranteed, but I'll tell you somebody that needs to benefit from a scorching hot Bray Wyatt entering back into the WWE and being back on SmackDown. And that person is Madcap Moss. Matt, generic ass, black tights and ponytail, great physique and great ring presence and all of that. Madcap Moss needs Bray Wyatt severely right now.
Okay.
He needs him so much that even if he gets squashed for the entire month of October, it's a benefit to him. Everybody else is pretty much stabled and labeled as their character with a storyline that we care about. SmackDown's only 2 hours. And if the conversation, which was so high on Madcap Moss, spring into summer of this year, and he needs this more than anybody, does it make sense for him to do it? No. Would it possibly be the best move for Bray Wyatt to maybe like start his family again, or just do vignettes and be cryptic? Yeah. But if we gotta have him an opponent, and if he has to attack somebody, my vote is for Madcap Moss, even though you could argue that don't do shit for Bray Wyatt, but it does everything for Madcap Moss.
All right, so I'm going to go in a different direction because I have a guarantee that I'm going to use early.
Let's go.
Because I just got a feeling that it's going to happen, and somebody's going to make that separation from the bloodline. I think the first person he should attack is Jey Uso.
Okay.
I don't think he's going to get at somebody like as soon as possible. I don't think we're going to see anybody get attacked next Friday or in the next couple of Fridays. There's two things I don't want when it comes to Bray Wyatt, and one of them might be a bit surprising. One, I don't need another iteration of the Wyatt family. I want this Wyatt 6 thing to be his 6 personalities.
Nice. Okay.
And I want those personalities to be able to show and tell the story. I don't need Liv Morgan and
Return of Braun Strowman.
I don't need none of them in this version of Bray Wyatt. I just need Bray Wyatt. And with that being said, I need all of his personalities, and it just feels like to me that Jey Uso will not be in the bloodline for a bit. I'm not saying this is going to be permanent, but I think it's part of the long-term storyline. And I think that he should get excommunicated.
Okay.
And when he does, Bray Wyatt is there to pick up the scraps. Roman and them look like, well, Jimmy looks and says, yo, that's bro. It's cuz. And Roman basically just ignores everything. And Jay has to fend for himself against Bray Wyatt. It does not need to be Drew McIntyre, because Drew McIntyre or somebody tried to do vehicular homicide. And there's just something about Triple H and wanting to run people over in parking lots. It's just beyond me.
Too much Memphis wrestling for for Triple H, bro.
Yeah, it's like, like I said, Triple H, I've said this for a couple of weeks, Triple H loved WCW. Everything happened in the parking lot in WCW.
Yeah.
Everything. You could go back to when, I think it was Barry Windham got his arm broken by Arn Anderson and Bobby Eaton or somebody, or Tully, one of them, but he got his arm broken. It's like Triple H and WCW, everything goes on in the locker room. With that being said, in the parking lot. With that being said, Jay gets excommunicated, and then when it happens, the lights goes off. When the lights goes off, is this version of Bray, and Michael Cole says, "Oh damn, oh damn, oh no, oh no, nobody from the Bloodline is gonna help him." And then that's when you have the first feud of Bray Wyatt becomes Jey Uso versus Bray.
Okay.
It puts Jay back in the solo spotlight, which he clearly succeeded in when he was going up against his cousin.
Yeah.
It separates him in the bloodline. It secures Sami Zayn. Solo and Jimmy becomes the tag team. So of course they have to lose the tag team championships in order for that to happen. And the bloodline just becomes Roman, Jay, Solo, Sami.
Okay. Hey, look, I think you do accomplish two very important things at the same time. which is building two main event, or if nothing else, just headliners for SmackDown, when Roman Reigns just doesn't do all 4 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like, because whether you close the show out with Jay, you close the show out with Bray, it's a win. I do think that. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. I could definitely see that happening. I think right now, the bloodline being so hot, I think it's still time for, honestly, both of those things to happen. Like, maybe that closes out the year, or you know what I'm saying, or leading into Survivor Series. I think that's actually not bad. I mess with that.
Yeah, like I think I mean, you let Karrion Kross and Drew do their thing. This is just how the current roster is set up.
Yeah, for sure.
You let them do their thing. All right, cool. I don't think you mess with Sheamus, even though Sheamus and the Brawling Brutes are now classified as faces.
Yeah, crazy.
You don't mess with Gunther and company.
Yeah.
We're gonna get the Rey Mysterio in a little bit, but I think that, like, even on Roman told Jay that he needs to make sure that Sammy wins his match, and he super kicks Kofi Kingston, but Jimmy and Sammy didn't see it, and all of that. It's like, yo, y'all really messing with Buddy. Y'all really messing with Buddy, and his punishment is to get removed from the bloodline. And then when he starts battling against Bray, Roman is basically like, yo, he's a hothead. He made his bed. He got a lie in it. We ain't got nothing to do with that. And there you go. I think that's a perfect storyline. But let me go back to what I said earlier, because I've already answered the question where I believe that there should not be anybody else rocking with Bray Wyatt.
Okay.
I don't think this should be a situation where you have 5 of the people with Bray Wyatt. This does not need to be Bray Wyatt's New World Order. This does not need to be anything of that. I think Bray is the central character here, and he's so much the central character that he does not need other people. Do you believe we need to see a Wyatt family incarnation?
No, I don't. And it's because they're now, even though I am a faction person and I love factions and 4-man, 8-man tag team matches and all of that, I think we got too many. We got too many, and for the part of Raw I did see, because I know, and I'm only bringing it up because we're not going to talk about this in detail, because why? But like the OC being back, it's like, oh, okay, wow, we got teams on teams on teams here. There's like fucking Microsoft Teams. It's just everybody's in the fucking team. So it doesn't really matter anymore. And I think and I think, you know what, even to your point, Wyndham 6, Bray Wyatt standing alone in this one, I think it does truly test to see how big of an attraction he is and just how far he can take this truly solo by himself. Even though you can kind of say the Firefly Funhouse was a solo thing, but again, the focus was the puppets and the two sides of him, like him and the Fiend and all of that. And even though it is super dope, it sounds like what we're getting here is a chance for him to really, for lack of a better word, hop into the Undertaker lane and really take over where he has cemented, paved, put the statue at the end, and now he can kind of and he can fill the shoes in his own way.
Yeah. Like, I think Jay Uso becomes his Jimmy Superfly Snuka. And then from there he moves into his Jake the Snake Roberts and his Giant Gonzalez and all of these things. So yeah, like I think you have to reposition this man to some. First of all, you have to get him away from the world title.
Yeah, facts.
That's one first things first. You got to get him away from the world title. He does not need this belt on him. You just go look at what Jake the Snake did for years and just know that he didn't need a title to do anything that he ever did in the WWE. You have to reposition all of that. So that's one. And then two, because of that, you have to put him against foils that are people who might be coming out of feuds.
Yeah.
Or they just need some at the time, but they got to be dynamic people. So yeah, eventually I want to see him go up against Drew McIntyre. Eventually, I want to see him go up against Karrion Kross. Eventually, I want him to go up against Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. They just don't. He just don't need the title to do that. Every once in a while, give him a title run. Just like they did with The Undertaker. Like The Undertaker won the title in 1991 Tuesday, and then at the Survivor Series, and then they was like, "Yo, this Tuesday in Texas," and then he lost that bitch, and then it gave us the greatest Royal Rumble of all time. The Undertaker did not sniff the belt until WrestleMania 13.
There you go.
Like WrestleMania 13 is his second title reign in the WWE. That's what, 1996?
Yeah. And I think that's fair. And to your point, I was gonna say I'm cool if this entire year and next year there is no title talk at all for Bray Wyatt. Like that would be perfectly fine to me because there's a bigger purpose than the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship. So
yeah, like again, Bray Wyatt does not need the WWE Universal Heavyweight Championship. He needs quality feuds that's going to lead to dope matches. And that's it. That is all. Storylines. They hired apparently a dude that's going to take care of long-term storytelling. That's the lane of Bray Wyatt. He does not need to wrestle for any championship. He essentially becomes, you can even call him a transitional champion from time to time. Because here's the other thing. When you lose the belt, when he loses the belt, he got to lose it in some weird ass ways. Like The Undertaker, for example. The Undertaker had lost the belt. I think it was Sid Vicious. It was Psycho Sid or it was Shawn Michaels. I can't remember who it was right off the top of the dome right now. But he lost the belt because Bret Hart hit him with the chair. Well, no, Shawn Michaels hit him with the chair. That's what it is. My bad. Let's rewind that. The Undertaker's the champion. He loses it to Bret Hart because Shawn Michaels hit him upside the head with the chair. That's what leads to bad blood. That's what leads to Undertaker Kane. Kane won the championship and held that bitch for 12 hours.
Right.
He didn't sniff a belt again until later on in his career when he actually got a title run and knocked the Undertaker out in the process. So again, don't put no belt on, buddy. Don't need no belt. No, that just give him, just look at 1991 or 1990 to 1996 and see what they did with the Undertaker. That's what you do with Bray Wyatt. Then give him a title run.
I dig it.
Have it for 3 months. And he lose it on some weird shit. And then he beat that guy up. And I don't worry about the title because I'm trying to beat everybody up. The end.
Right.
Like the end. I guess the other part about this is you can't, and the other thing is you can't mess this up. You can't. I think the WWE and Triple H, low key, put themselves, their backs against the wall. They do. Because now you bring him back. Now you get that amazing reaction to him on Extreme Rules and then on SmackDown, combined to our reaction to the rabbit thing anyway. Like, yeah, you in turn basically have to make this right. There's only one, and then even with that, there's only one person I don't mind seeing with Bray Wyatt. It's only one person, and that's it. And this is the person that I've been saying that should be with him anyway. And it's his brother.
Okay. Yeah. Old Bo Dallas.
Yeah, like Bo is the only person that needs to be with him. Because Bo could essentially be the person that turns the switch on.
Mm-hmm.
Put his brother on charge.
Gotcha.
No, we got whoop dude ass over here. Like, that's it. I don't need a whole bunch of people in front and in behind. I don't need a tall guy, a girl, and 2 other people. I don't need all that. We got, like you said, as far as factions go, we got the bloodline. We got Legado de Fantasma. They're here now from NXT. They've moved up.
Mm-hmm.
You got Judgment Day, which we're gonna get into a little bit later.
Mm-hmm.
You have the OC is now back. We don't again, Triple H, say this again, dead in the camera. I know you want to be WCW.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need all the factions.
So, just to be clear, you are totally against Eva Marie joining the Wyatt family. You're dead against that.
Let's tell Chris the Hot, bro. Ain't nowhere in hell.
Oh man.
Ain't nowhere in hell. Even did that shit for a commercial for the WWE. WWE was like, yo, got a good idea. And call Eva.
Right.
Make it look like you joining the and he's like, we ain't doing that, man. We not even. What can she do? What can Eva Marie do to make us scared other than wrestle? That's it. Right?
You're raising a great point, man. You're raising a great point.
We don't need all that. So we don't need. We just need Bray and Bo, and that's it. That's all. Have a nice day. Don't need FOMO people. Just need to. And we need Mike Rotunda to be proud of his kids. We need Barry Windham to be proud of his nephews. We need Blackjack Mulligan looking down on his grandkids and being like, yo, I'm proud of y'all. We'll need nobody else to jump in and be a Wyatt family member.
Yeah.
Don't do something else.
You know what? I'm with you. I think just really short. The Wyatt family was a very cool thing when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, Bray does so much reinvention that you could make it something fresh, cool, and new. But I think this run should be all about him, like really about him. And the best part about all of this for me is the AEW stands or the WWE haters literally got to come full circle and walk everything back that they said about Bray Wyatt and how obviously it was the creative control issue and he didn't want to do all that stupid shit with Alexa Bliss and he needs to go to AEW where he can get off his entire vision because there's no better place for him to do it than AEW, the young, hip, fresh, hot, happening company with the younger billionaire that can bring all of his dreams to life, and also knowing Cody Rhodes and all those guys. There was no better place for Bray Wyatt to be as the Fiend and as everything that he ever did than AEW. And look at that. Look at you. Look at you all marked out at a WWE Tier B paper premium live event.
Bray Wyatt is gonna come and he's gonna take over the Dark Order. Like, nah.
Yeah, see? Nah. Hey, that just let us know that Wyndham thought your idea was stupid too. And he's not doing that. And rightfully so, you know. I mean, the WWE being the billion-dollar company that it is, certain characters and certain developments, man, once you see them there, you can't really see them anywhere else. If nothing, you all should respect the fact that Vince started making wrestlers really into superheroes. He started making them larger than life, no matter what you saw when the cameras were off. And I think Bray Wyatt is the epitome of that in the new era. It's just like, yo, I'm a larger than life attraction. You know, I am not some regular guy that just wants to wrestle. And there's no better place for this vision, honestly, to be than the company that specializes in that. So just congrats to Bray Wyatt, man. Really is where I'm getting into, you know, coming back to WWE, coming back under Paul and Steph, and really getting the new chapter of his amazing character off. Because no matter how we feel about anybody outside or in the offices, this is an incredible character. And this is what wrestling needs right now to add more interest and spice into the storylines that take place before the first 10 or the last 25 minutes of every SmackDown program.
Yeah. Speaking of SmackDown, so looks like Judgment Day that ran off Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, man.
Rey Mysterio went to SmackDown to tell Triple H, yo, I'm out of here, fam. I'm retiring. I need to do all this straight. My son whooping my ass.
Yeah.
It's time for me to go home, fam. I'm tired. I'm tired, fam. And Triple H was like, nah. You just go come here to SmackDown. Matter of fact, because at the beginning of SmackDown, somebody tried to kill Karrion Kross.
Damn. Hey, I do gotta watch SmackDown, man. I have missed SmackDown, y'all. I have no problem saying that. We're gonna talk through it though. But but just from what I've seen in my passing time on Twitter between my reception, I was like, oh wait, I gotta watch this.
Hey man, this is a little bit, this whole Judgment Day thing, I ain't mad at it, but when you run off your daddy the way that he did, and he says, yo, it's time for me to go, and Triple H like, nah, we want to, yeah, and then you got this whole car accident thing, which is similar to another thing that happened in NXT, where I think it was not NXT, no, Sheamus tried to run over Jeff Hardy? Like,
yeah.
Junkie Jeff, remember Junkie Jeff? Yeah.
And also, I mean, hey, this was also the this is how Brock Lesnar, no, this is how Steve Austin got out of the King of the Ring tournament. He got hit by a car instead of getting beat by Brock Lesnar, instead of getting squashed by Lesnar.
There you go. So with that being said, you know what I'm saying, Triple H like, yo, we're going to put you in this #1 contenders match where we all knew what was up. We saw the writing on the wall. We saw whoever get put in is going to be that. And your new #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship is Rey Mysterio Jr. Hey, man, question for you. Is Gunther going to kill Rey Mysterio?
Yes, and why not? You know what I mean? like what you can't do to a wrestling fan as savvy as I am is let Gunther and Sheamus beat the hell out of each other for 30 minutes a pop with him coming out on top, and then you thinking that Rey Mysterio, fresh off of getting whooped by his son, and his new friends and his Dom, that he about to win the Intercontinental Championship. That's what you're not about to do.
Yeah.
So, and I will be upset if Dominic happens to show up on SmackDown to deliver a cheap shot. Gunther don't need any of that. He should whoop both of them.
Yeah,
he should have a triple threat match for the title and beat both of their ass, stack them, and pin them. That's what he should do.
Basically, like, yo, Ray and Dom, for you trying to help me. That's it. That's all.
Right.
That's it. That's all. Ladies and gentlemen, that's been a Rey Mysterio segment. That's all we needed. No,
Hey.
just bullshit. But I mean, kind of not, but like it's really like you running from your kid. And now technically Judgment Day is going to be in the feud with the OC. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? You got to remove Ray from that because now you got the OC that's going to be, you know, feuding with Judgment Day, which that's actually a feud I like.
Yeah.
Like that.
It's gonna shape up well for everybody involved.
Yeah, that's a feud I like. AJ Styles and Finn Balor, Freaky Finn, out here.
Yeah.
You got the Good Brothers. You got Rey Mysterio and Damian Priest. You got Damian Priest versus Luke Gallows. You know what I'm saying? You got Ray that's gonna learn a lot from Carl Anderson. Hey, I like this feud going forward, but it does leave Rey on the outside looking in for my other guarantee today.
Okay.
I think one match at WrestleMania is already set. It is already marked down, and I can't wait for it because if you listen to this podcast, you've heard me talk about When Worlds Collide a lot.
Yeah.
I watched it in Nashville at Camp's crib after SummerSlam.
Yep.
That's how much I talk about it. And that's how much I watch it. There was a mask versus hair match in that pay-per-view. Eddie Guerrero and Art Barr versus Octagon, and I can't remember the other person. But it was a mask versus hair tag team championship match. Or tag team grudge match, excuse me. I think for WrestleMania 40, we are going to get Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio, hair versus mask, and retirement. I think that match is already set. Mask, hair, retirement, all on the line. If anybody is going to take that mask again off of Rey Mysterio's face, because you know Kevin Nash did it the first time, it is going to be his son and me basking in the world of retirement. So he's going to defeat Rey Mysterio and introduce Oscar Rivas to the world.
Okay.
As his daddy. It's going to be an emotional match. I think you remove Rey Mysterio from the equation on Raw for a bit, and we don't see nothing transpire with the two until Survivor Series. Then it gets teased again till Royal Rumble. I know we missed the pay-per-view. We're going to talk about that in a second. But I think it gets no bigger and no better for Mexican American wrestling fans than seeing Rey Mysterio and his son finally lock horns, and it means so much to the community. And I've always thought that Rey Mysterio wants to put his son on the path, and when his son is on that path, he's out.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think it's time now.
Okay.
I think it's time now, and I think that time ends just like a lot of big matches with wrestlers looking to retire. They end. It's gonna be a WrestleMania, man, and no better than WrestleMania 40 with Rey Mysterio going into his retirement due to his son. That's my other guarantee for the day. I definitely think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, and you know what? And it's not far-fetched. It's not out of the way, because you know, I think we went from not caring about Dominic at all to him getting booed out of every arena the past couple weeks, and it keeps getting worse. And that's actually a great thing for him. Because initially, when you were saying all of this, I was like, well, I hope this leaves with him being over. but the thing is, it's happening already. You know what I'm saying? He's already building himself up into like, yeah, you could put me in the first hour of WrestleMania right now, and people want to see my dad whoop my ass on the biggest stage possible. So just the slow burn to that, I think is, hey man, it helps, because I'm not that it has happened in a while, but like Rey Mysterio, unfortunately, gets put in a lot of big pay-per-views and matches that don't matter. And this would be a great ending, if it is an ending, for him to be like, yo, at least the last match that mattered, it was with my son, it was WrestleMania LA, or WrestleMania Hollywood Part 2, whatever it is. And that it actually makes a lot of sense. So I like it.
So that's my prediction right there. That's my other guarantee. I really think this is going to be an emotional match probably the most emotional match we've seen since Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair.
Hey.
And then this one, even though I believe that retirement is going to be on the line, it's more going to be at the fact that it's a father-son relationship, yada, 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 yada. And the mask is going to be leaving along with some boots. And, you know what I'm saying, the career is going to be interesting to see what happens after that match, though. But I'm talking like the match is already signed. But I think this match is already on the docket. I know I had said that a pay-per-view was missing between those two. Reportedly, allegedly, it came out today. Brian Alvarez reported that WWE Day 1 in Atlanta is reportedly canceled. You know, the ticket sales of the first one didn't necessarily do so well, but I mean, it's New Year's Day, so I kind of get it. But according to Brian Alvarez, because of this, now it's going to be no premium live event / pay-per-view between Survivor Series War Games, which is November 26th, and the Royal Rumble, which is January 28th. So December, we're going to have a chance to chill.
Hey, and I'm not mad at that, by the way. I'm not mad at that. I mean, hey, even though I love the concept of Day 1, because one, it was taking the first shot against AEW, like, oh, y'all do Saturday shit. We're going to do that Saturday shit. We're going to kick off the year with the best wrestling event. You got to follow this instead of people thinking we following y'all. But, you know, New Year's Eve, man, it's reserved for overpriced champagne, expensive hotel rooms, unprotected sex. And you just hope to survive past midnight to make it to the crib, or you might be having a baby delivered on that day. You know what I'm saying? Yo, hey, you know what I'm saying? Just to keep them in line. Be like, hey, whoever think you can pull some shit like Dominic, I'll beat your, you know what I'm saying?
It's Spanish households too at that.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Man, so I do like, and also though, you know, a real break between premium live events, I think it will honestly make them a little more special. I hope this ain't the only break they take, to be real with you.
Reportedly, allegedly, that's not going to be the only change. The specialty gimmick pay-per-views are in danger as well. So pay-per-views like Hell in a Cell and TLC and Extreme Rules are in danger as well. Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank is considered the 5th pay-per-view, so that is not in danger. But pay-per-views like Hell in a Cell, the TLC, and Extreme Rules are possibly going to be removed from the schedule. Also, it's reported that it's likely going to be more international shows, and of course, like I said, less gimmick shows.
Gonna get Fastlane out of here too, Paul. Let's do it.
And then less. And so my question, which I believe you already answered, is less premium live events a good thing?
Yes. I think it's a good thing. Even though I felt like this past summer Vince was like, hey, yo, look how good my B team is with the pay-per-view without any world titles on the line. I do think that we build better short and long-term storytelling without so many pay-per-views or premium live events. I'm sorry, I was born in the 80s. So without so many premium live events, right? Because now we get a chance to make more special moments on Raw, more special moments on Smackdown, and we're building up to a pay-per-view. And it's not like, damn, every 3.5 weeks it's another premium live event. But this story just started. I think this is a very smart move for just the more cerebral wrestling fan that wants to be entertained. You know, I think a lot of the premium live events, that's what people that, I mean, not to pick on anybody in general, I just want to see wrestling. Like you're not, when you don't want to really become invested in storyline and characters, I think, yeah, okay, cool. Well, we'll just throw people out there and we'll just wrestle every day. And that's cool, but I don't think that helps the long-term thing. Like, the Mega Powers explode. Just imagine if the Mega Powers explode happened from Saturday night's main event to fucking Great American Bash, SummerSlam, then Hell in the Cell, and then it's like, dude, how are we gonna get to WrestleMania with this? It's like, how do we get to WrestleMania if the Mega Powers exploded in July and we got 4 premium live events coming up? Like, it's gotta end. So go ahead. I'm sorry. so for me, that is that you get moments like that back versus the latter.
So I agree with you, and I'll even double down to a point. This only works if you have special TV events. And those have to matter. Mm-hmm. See, the thing that irritates me about AEW is they have too many of those because they don't have that many pay-per-views.
Yeah.
I don't mind the every pay-per-view a month thing. I think Triple H want to be WCW. I think names change to make the feel different. Or, and this is a big or, ladies and gentlemen. I know this ain't gonna happen, but I swear it needs to. Remove Clash of Champions. Or bring back Saturday night's main event.
Yeah.
And then between the summer, cut down the amount of pay-per-views done or premium live events done. And then between those joints, have a Clash of Champions, have a Saturday night's main event, and make them mean something to the point that you're not putting them on the network, you're putting them on TV, on network television. So it really means something. That has to happen to me in order for this to work. You can't remove some of these pay-per-views and then just have Raws in between time and just say, oh, this Raw is going to be special tonight. No. Because to your point, and I didn't expect for you to bring up the Mega Powers thing, but I'll even start before the Mega Powers. The big event.
Yeah, okay.
Or, excuse me, the main event. It wasn't Saturday night's main event.
Right.
It was the main event. Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant rematch for the WWF World Heavyweight Championship. The rematch from WrestleMania 3. One of the most anticipated matches ever. And as far as a television audience goes, it did big numbers for NBC and the WWF. To see those two go against each other in prime time. The rematch is something that we had to go to see on closed circuit television. And what happened during that match? Everything that set up WrestleMania 4 in one night. Andre the Giant wins off of a fast count. For some reason, the world did not know that Earl Hebner had a twin. But in this case, Dave Hebner was an evil person that had facial recognition surgery and changed his face so he could look like Earl. So, you know what I'm saying? So you got that. Ted DiBiase, who's going through his own bullshit about welfare in Mississippi right now. If you guys have not looked up that story, please go look it up. It ain't just Brett Favre in the middle of this. It's Ted DiBiase and the DiBiase family.
Favre and Dabs the ass.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta watch it.
You just fucked me all up right there. Because somebody probably read the names like that. Who the fuck is this? But you got that. And then you got Andre the Giant selling the belt or giving the belt to Ted DiBiase. And then Jack Tunney like, hold on, wait a minute. Ain't none of this shit going on, man. Fuck y'all doing here? Y'all wild out here.
Right.
Holding the belt up. We having a tournament at WrestleMania 4.
Mm-hmm.
Then they put out the list. It turned out to be a whole different list.
Yeah, hey, I'm glad. Hey, yo, I'm glad you said that because that had me effed up for years. Like, wait a minute, when did this one happen? I was like, was WrestleMania actually 3 VHS tapes and I didn't get this one?
No, it was.
I mean, I'm sorry, 4. Like it was an extra tape and I didn't get the first tournament because it was mad different names on that joint.
Yeah, because the original bracket was, let me see if I can look it up. The original bracket was different than what it came out to be. Wait.
I want to say, wouldn't Hercules and Duggan should have went to the at least the quarterfinals and the other one based on how the tournament was set up?
I think so.
That's what I'm saying.
So the original bracket was, and I think I got this right. I think this is right. If it's not, I'm trying to make sure. But the original joint was Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant had to buy.
Mm-hmm.
It had to buy still, but well, hold on. There we go. Hacksaw Jim Duggan versus Ted DiBiase. Don Morocco versus Dino Bravo. And the winner of that was supposed to go up against Hulk Hogan. Ricky Steamboat and Greg the Hammer Valentine. That winner was supposed to go up against Macho Man and the Natural Butch Reed.
Mm-hmm.
And then the one-man gang and Bam Bam Bigelow was supposed to go up against the winner of Rick Rude and Jake the Snake Roberts.
Yeah, shot the Engelbert Humperdinck. Mm-hmm.
Which very well could have had a main event that would have saw a Hulk Hogan or Ted DiBiase against the Macho Man still.
Mm-hmm. But
Ted DiBiase would have had to go through Hulk Hogan or Andre the Giant to get there.
Right. So that literally leaves it open to be like Dino Bravo versus Hacksaw Jim Duggan, depending on like, because remember, it was a lot of buys and disqualifications that happened. So if it happens that way still, and somebody get a buy, like fam, you don't. Hey, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat might have been like, yo, I'm a Tom Brady, my son, make me the champ, and they could have made it make sense.
So yeah, wild times, ladies and gentlemen. But again, a lot of the shits really happened or kicked off decided the next main event. And also Ted DiBiase was supposed to win the tournament. So that's the other thing too. Mm-hmm. For those who don't know, he was supposed to win the tournament. Honky Tonk Man reportedly refused to drop the Intercontinental Championship to Rey. So they fixed the tournament to have Savage beat DiBiase in the finals to have a babyface championship, a babyface champion, one babyface champion. Mm-hmm. That's some of that. One of the old wives' tales and stuff that came out. So Ted DiBiase was supposed to be the first heel to come out of WrestleMania 4 or WrestleMania the champion. Mm. That would have changed a lot of things, and maybe Ted DiBiase wouldn't be in trouble for welfare fraud in Mississippi currently. If he would have won in WrestleMania for Donald Trump, it had it happen at Trump Plaza and stuff, all that too. So It is what it is on that one. But even then, going to after that, the Mega Powers collide. Even before that, Paul Orndorff versus Hulk Hogan in the cage.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan versus Bam Bam, Big Boss Man. But Zeus is at the open in the cage. Mm-hmm. He beat Hulk Hogan's ass. Like, what's going on? A lot of stuff used to happen at Saturday Night's Main Event. And then we don't have to get started on the legacy of Clash of the Champions.
Right.
You know, with Ric Flair and Sting and the Ric Flair versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat matches. And all the other classic matches that's happened at Saturday Night's Clash of the Champions. Use that. Cut down on the pay-per-views and give us that shit.
Yeah.
And we good. We don't need a pay-per-view every month. I really don't. Or especially in this era, we don't need a premium live event every month.
Yeah. I mean, I just think again, the long form storytelling, and obviously I'm biased because it's just the era I come from, but I think we just microwave so much in this era. It's like, man, we don't save it, because the thing is, the appreciation, like let's bring it forward. The appreciation for Roman Reigns' run is that he don't show up every week or every month to every pay-per-view, but every time you do see him, somebody worth getting their ass beat is getting their ass beat. And that is how the world championship should go. Like, there shouldn't be a point where, no disrespect, he should have been wrestling Cesaro at fucking Money in the Bank or wherever that was. Like, it just shouldn't have happened.
WrestleMania Backlash.
Yeah. See, look at the name of it. The name of it lets you know that shouldn't have happened there. And why is the champ there, like, doing that? That is almost like in his prime, or like during the Macho Man's title run, he's ran through everybody. So, hey, man, just throw Jumping Jim Brunzell out there, bro. Like, let him cook real quick. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, yo, we never did Macho Man versus the Dynamite Kid. It's like, yo, come on, fam. You know what this is about to be.
Yeah, like,
we love Dynamite Kid, but
you got to say them for the house shows and for the special tapes.
Yeah, it's like,
because think about it like this: how many times did we see Andre the Giant versus Macho Man for the championship? I think we saw it once, and it was Saturday Night's Main Event.
Man, and that is, and you know what? That's all we needed.
Yeah,
because, fam, you don't come there and then do it on Primetime Wrestling and then do it again at Fastlane. It's like, come on, man. Why are we doing this? We don't need Andre Macho 3 in the span of 90 days that ain't really drawing a big house.
Yeah. So I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. I do have a special request: bring back King of the Ring as a pay-per-view.
Yeah. Now that I'm always with.
That I'm with. I think the King of the Ring as a pay-per-view becomes special. And give some type of incentive still. But I am over the every month there's a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But you still need something to keep the pay-per-view going. So that might be helpful as well. So just like looking at that, like, okay, if y'all decide to do that, cool. It's just like make sure y'all replace it with something. And that's cool. Like make those specialty events mean something. Now, also, before we move on to the final topic, is that they're supposed for the major shows, they're gonna go back to having the specialty looks too. So it's not gonna be the same old Tritantron and all of those shits. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, because Backlash, we talk shit about Backlash. Backlash was my favorite. My favorite scene, because they had the little pendulums and everything. So that's my favorite. But the ramp and everything, all that, all that stuff is supposed to look specialty for those events. But then for the other ones, it's going to be the basic. This look like Raw, SmackDown.
Okay, I dig it. My last request is that, because I'm with you on King of the Ring, bring back the 90s King of the Ring version, though, where It's 8 dudes, one night, one winner. I don't want to see qualifying matches on Raw and SmackDown is cool, but the tournament should not start until that night.
Right. Yeah, that was that 3 matches.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
If you win, it's 2. 3 matches.
So I'm with you on that.
2, yeah.
We need a road to perdition when it comes to that championship. So man, I mean to winning the King of the Ring and that person get the title shot at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Bring that back.
Facts.
Like so. And the last but certainly not least, for WWE is concerned, we now have a new Raw Heavyweight Championship. We're champion. As we've told y'all before on the show, we're not calling the United States Championship United States Championship. Right. We're calling it the Raw Heavyweight Championship. And your new Raw Heavyweight Champion is Seth Rollins, who defeated Bobby Lashley with the help of Brock Lesnar, who whooped Bobby Lashley's ass before the match. Bobby Lashley did put up a valiant effort, but he ended up losing the match. So how are we feeling with Seth Rollins being the Raw Heavyweight Champion? And it looks like in Saudi Arabia, we're about to get Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley. What, 3?
Well, technically it's 2, I think. Technically it's 2 because wasn't 2 supposed to be the Elimination Chamber that didn't really happen?
Yeah.
Okay. So, answering your first question, I mean, hey, man, who better to be the Raw Heavyweight Champion than the guy that's been holding down Raw the entire year, whether win or lose, and mostly losing, than Seth freaking Rollins? I think it is. I mean, this is just a smart decision. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just got to do the right thing. Shout to Spike Lee. Like, this is just it. Like, you can't be upset at this, even though we are our black national wrestling treasure, our national black wrestling treasure is Bobby Lashley is no longer a champion. However, look at the position he's in, and the positioning of you sometimes weighs way heavier than the belt that you're holding. And again, we kind of gloss over it because it's coming commonplace, and I love that. But man, listen, we got a black man that is wrestling, winning and losing titles against top-tier main event talent and setting up feud after feud after feud after situation. And this couldn't be a better time for that to happen with wrestling. Like, yeah, always upsetting to see Bobby Lashley lose a belt. But Bobby Lashley in the program with Brock Lesnar, I don't care if it's Saudi Mania 8. You know what I'm saying? That means a lot. That truly means a lot, man. And you can't. It's weird. It's one of the things where it's like 2 guys work their ass off to get themselves in position to where it made sense for either one to win or lose, and then to know that the loser is in a great main event situation and he just so happens to be black makes it even better, man. That's literally what this show is like centered around. You know what I'm saying? Because, hey, just to take it back to the origin of why this show exists, like, this didn't happen for Ron Simmons.
Hell no.
You know what I'm saying? After he lost the world title, it was pretty much a wrap, and then he showed up.
Yeah, like, wait, he won the title. Well, he fought for the title. He lost.
Mm-hmm.
He won the title. He lost it at a house show, and then he like turned heel, and then his ass had a helmet on. His name was Farouk.
Yeah, he showed up as a foam-posite gladiator at fucking WWF with Sonny. That's what happened. You know?
He did look like he did.
It's tragic. You know what I'm saying? Foam-posite gladiator. You heard it here on the First Black Champ podcast, right?
I was gonna say I was gonna say he came up in there looking like the Kobe's with Adidas.
Wait, the Sixers?
I think it's the Kobe 6 is the one that was supposed to be like a car, look like a car or some shit. What the fuck is wrong with y'all with these Kobe's, fam? Like y'all are wild.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah,
But nah,
man.
But nah,
This is
like
dope.
this is dope. Let me just put it to you like this. This is bigger than that Raw World Championship. This is bigger than that.
Facts.
It's Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley.
Brock Lesnar don't do mid-card shit, period.
Hell no. So seeing them two going against each other in fucking Saudi Arabia too.
Yeah, man.
This is a high-profile match.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar not fighting you for the United States Championship. In fact, shit. Let me ask a question. Have Brock Lesnar ever wrestled for the Intercontinental or World Heavyweight or the United States Championship?
No. He literally got fast-tracked all the way around. The lowest tier thing that Brock Lesnar has done is win King of the Ring.
Yeah.
That is the lowest he's done.
Man, so yeah, this is bigger than that. And we didn't used to get this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Ricochet got his ass whooped in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
We ain't got to talk about what happened to Kofi.
Yeah, man.
You know,
boy,
we still feel away about that.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar is in a high-profile match with Brock Lesnar in Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
In a rematch of a match he won.
Yeah. Let's talk about it.
So no, keep this going.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy. Now, to that point though, I mean, I guess if we look at it like a Raw Heavyweight Championship,
mm-hmm.
I'm glad that it's on Seth.
Okay.
But let me say this, but it's gonna come a time that I believe that Seth or Bobby don't need that belt.
Yeah.
Actually, I think Riddle needs that belt more than Seth. I think that Johnny Gargano needs that belt more than Seth.
Mm-hmm.
I think that actually Judgment Day needs that belt more than Seth.
Yeah.
Like Finn needs that belt more than Seth.
Mm.
To put a stake in that claim that they are the best faction in the WWE.
Yeah.
They need that. Seth don't need. Seth been killing without that goddamn belt.
Mm-hmm.
He just got that belt just to have some shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, nah, I'm cool with everything that we see.
Mm-hmm.
I am cool with all of that. But
mm-hmm.
eventually we gonna have to figure something out with these belts and who does what, because Triple H bringing in too many people now.
Yeah.
Brand splits are gonna have to matter sooner rather than later.
Yeah, man.
Because I think KO, Sami Zayn, now,
mm-hmm.
Roman, Jay, Drew, Karrion Kross. I'm not putting Bray in that.
Yeah.
Edge. I think there are numerous people that could be in world championship matches,
mm-hmm.
or just be amongst the title hunt.
Mm-hmm.
In the title hunt. And when you just have one, and again, Triple H talking directly to you.
Mm.
If you're looking at late 80s WWF, where it was only one world champion,
mm-hmm.
the Intercontinental Champion was not considered the workhorse. Like, put workhorse and Honky Tonk Man in the same sentence? Hell no.
Nah.
You know, but it really didn't have the prestige that it had really until the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have one major champion, you got to make sure that you develop grudge matches and pure wrestling feuds around.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're spoiled with the brand split. Well, we don't have to be spoiled by that no more.
Mm-hmm.
If we continue to see great feuds between world champion caliber people without the belts or a belt being involved.
Mm-hmm.
Because Jake the Snake Roberts was out here trying to DDT Andre the Giant
Mm-hmm.
for no belt.
All right.
Think about this, Jake. Let me talk to Jake here.
Mm-hmm.
They put Jake Roberts in a feud with Andre the Giant after Hogan, and he was trying to DDT Andre the Giant and realized that ain't gonna happen. But I think he's afraid of snakes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That ain't necessarily how the timeline went,
But
but he had to wrestle him
yeah.
at WrestleMania 5 and really think about, is it possible to DDT Andre the Giant?
Right. Yeah.
But where did the feud start? Saturday night's main event.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
That's all I'm saying. So yeah, no, Jake Roberts, I commend you for having even the balls to think about DDTing Andre the Giant. I know, like, if you try to DDT Andre the Giant and he lands on you, you lose the match. Like, think about it like that. Like, God damn, I lost. How you lose? I DDT'd Andre the Giant and he laid on me. I couldn't get up.
Right.
And yes, Courtney, shouts out to Courtney. I'm sorry. He was 10 minutes away, couldn't make it. Family stuff. But yes, when Jake the Snake threw that snake on Andre the Giant, I ain't never seen Andre the Giant run as fast as he did. It's like he threw the snake at Andre the Giant. Was like, oh.
Yeah. Hey, so suddenly being 500 pounds made him a luchador. Hey, he was out there moving like Juventud Guerrero when that mug was up.
Right. Oh, gotta go, Bobby. We out of here. Yeah. So, and that was a big moment for Jake. Like that got Damian over. I want everybody to look at Jake the Snake Roberts before WrestleMania 5. He had the snake. The snake was cool. We wasn't scared of Damian until he tried to kill Andre the Giant by a heart attack with the snake. That's it. And then the $1 Million Man tried to take the snake, and it didn't work. He beat both of their ass, him and Virgil, through the snake. And Andre the Giant was like, oh, gotta go. And what did that lead to? Jake Roberts versus $1 Million Man. You gotta get back to that, Trips. You got if we gonna be cutting down premium live events, we gotta get to that. And even if you put some of them joints in Europe, all right, we go to Munich, Germany for a pay-per-view. All right, cool. Just make sure Gunther goes over in Munich. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, I think all of that, even with, bringing it back to Seth being a Raw Heavyweight Champion, like, okay, if this is what you're gonna do, and he's gonna lead that brand, like, yo, you gotta put him in feuds that's gonna elevate that. And if I have one criticism of the Triple H era right now, I've seen Matt Riddle versus Seth Rollins too many times now.
Facts. That and hopefully it dies in 2022. Like, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully it dies but unfortunately, though, also to your point, Bang, I think now we're back to the rubber match again. I think. Because I think true. Well, SummerSlam didn't happen. Then Seth wins, but now Riddle's won, and now he got a belt. So, you know what I mean? So one more match is coming. One more match is coming. So, but I do agree with you. We've seen it too many times. Specialty match is already went up. They got a celebrity in on the mix. They survived the whole summer beefing. Injuries have delayed this. Like they've done everything. They've done everything but fight for a title because they fought for a title opportunity, I think, the first time.
Yeah, and Daniel Cormier looked like he didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yo, Daniel Cormier looked like he never really fought professionally in his life.
Yes, he did. Daniel Cormier really looked like a referee.
Yeah, or like he was ready for the Family Matters reboot as Carl Winslow.
That too.
Either
that
one.
Too. All right, man. Before we get out of here, there's two things I want to bring up. Number one is let's talk AEW real quick.
Okay.
Daniel Bryan can't win shit. Put it lightly. Because Daniel Bryan wrestled Chris Jericho for the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship, and AEW confused the hell out of us again because Daniel Garcia, who had just turned face and aligned with his idol,
yeah, man,
like 2 weeks later, cost his idol the Ring of Honor Championship.
Yeah, man. See what happens when you let wrestlers control their whole creative? Like, yeah, because the thing is, the Garcia kid should have won in all of this. That's your first problem. That's your first problem. Let's not even get to how Bryan Danielson should have won the Ring of Honor Championship because he's the professional wrestler, and that's where he built his whole legacy. Like his legacy, like not his career, but his legacy starts at Ring of Honor, right? But let's not even get to that yet. Let's get to the fact that the kid is helping the OGs get over. for a belt that don't even got the name of the company on it. All right.
Yeah.
We'll start there. Second, hey, listen, you know the writing's on the wall for Jericho. Jericho, and I say this respectfully, is overcharging niggas for what they did to Y2J, bro.
Man.
He was like, look, I had to get by every single top tier superstar, and y'all called my undisputed reign a fluke, and you didn't believe it. So now that I am in the space that they were in this company, nah, shit going my way. I'm Stone Cold H. Johnson. All right. I am Mick McMahon. Like, y'all not getting over on me. I get over on y'all. I don't give a fuck what the belt is. I don't give a fuck what the match is. It's me. All right. I am a huge rock star. I am Y2J still. And we're going to make up for lost time here.
You are 150% right. Why is Daniel Garcia helping get over the old dudes?
Man.
This is confusing to me. Now, mind you, let me say this. And I know this is probably not going to have people happy with me. I'm not the biggest Daniel Garcia fan.
I'll dig it.
He seems bland to me. Even when he does this, it feels let me at him-ish. But when he gets to wrestling, right?
Yeah.
He gets to the technical wrestling, I'm like, all right, I'm with it. But he seems so bland to me, to which when it looks like he was gonna have to go up against Chris, his old homie, I think it was gonna help me like him. But we ain't gonna get that just yet.
There you go.
Maybe just yet. It's AEW. I don't know.
Right.
There's no rhyme or reason sometimes with some shit. But you know who Daniel Garcia to me need to have a conversation with, and I might be wrong. This wrestler might be like, nah, he's okay. But I'm going to tell you why I said wrestler.
Okay.
Because when I see Daniel Garcia, I see Lance Storm, WCW, I just won all the belts.
Okay.
But they're making him out to be Lance Storm in WCW when they was calling him boring. Because he don't fit in all this sports entertainment shit. Like, he don't even fit in that at all. But he gets to the ring so stiff to me. Whereas, like, I can't wait to see him wrestle. And once he wrestles, I turn the TV because I don't want to see him celebrate or anything like that. And Lance Storm used to be like that. Because when I was used to watch ECW, I'd be like, damn, Chris Candido cool as hell. Lance Storm just be there with Maple Leaf tights. And then when he came to WCW, I was like, oh, he up here? But then when he started winning the belts and naming all of the belts, Lance Storm, you might not see this. You might not. It's a whole bunch of wrestling podcasts or platforms that tag you, and you probably don't care. But if I could reach Lance Storm, I would tell Lance Storm this. Late WCW, to me, Lance Storm was my favorite wrestler as soon as he won the belt and he renamed it. Like the hardcore, what was it? The Canadian Heavyweight Championship was the United States Championship. The cruiserweight belt was the what was that? The 20
the 123 kilos, I think, and under.
Yeah, like 120 kilos and under belt. He renamed the hardcore belt the Saskatchewan like title or whatever. I was like, yo, get that man the world championship. And when he had his title match and he didn't win it, I turned off WCW. That was really when I stopped tuning into WCW like that. When they didn't give Lance Storm the championship. So then when he comes to WWF, he really kicks off the invasion, ladies and gentlemen. When he does that, I'm like, oh shit, we about to get Lance Storm lit. And they made him boring. I'm like, oh, y'all bullshit. This is the man who turned the United States Championship to the Canadian World Championship in WCW. The Saskatchewan hardcore title or something, the 120 kilos and under. He got all of the belts. I love that Lance Storm. So when I see that, I see Daniel Garcia. But they ain't doing nothing with him like that, even though he's the pure champion. Like, bro, I want to see your charisma, G.
Yeah, man. It's it was 100 kilos and under, and the Saskatchewan Hardcore International title. I had to look it up because I was like, yo, I know you're right. I don't want to see the titles again. But onto Danny Garcia, though. It's unfortunate. And see, this is the real problem with AEW. If there is a problem where people are not nitpicking about, and it's because creative wouldn't have done this. Smart creative wouldn't have done this. If anything, they would have made it a triple threat match, and they would have had Danny pin the person that he thought that he was going to help, or he didn't have to worry about, or he would have turned on both of his idols and been like, "Yo, y'all washed up. It's my time now. It's a new movement here, and this is what it's about." You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to put the young guy over if you got him with two former world champions, two WrestleMania. Well, when is the WrestleMania headline? Chris Jericho never headlined a WrestleMania, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. The Triple H joint.
Oh shit, yes. So you got two WrestleMania headliners. So yeah, the obvious rub is the new kid. It's obvious. It should have been set up like that from the door, no matter what the title is, because it should be on his resume. Yeah, I beat Bryan Danielson and Chris Jericho in the same night to become the Ring of Honor champion. That's the more compelling story here than, yo, young boy helped out the OG, beat somebody he should have beat any fucking way.
Yeah.
So, yo, there's that, man.
Yeah, so I mean, you got that, but then also, before we get out of here, this is Bang be knowing a little bit. Elias will be back on Monday.
Hey, hip hip hooray! I hope.
Yeah, I even though I knew it was going to be wrong, I was like, hey, maybe Elias could be the White Rabbit. I mean, we know who it was, but we have to make
hey man, what you thinking? Hey, look, long form storytelling,
right?
You know what I mean?
So you know what I'm saying. So Elias is gonna be back, and this is Elias. This is gonna be him. So, what is your thoughts on Triple H bringing back Elias instead of Zeke or Zed or anybody like that too?
Well, I think,
and yes, Elliot, yes.
Thank you, Elliot. That's exactly why. Like, make your creative make sense. If y'all want to be in charge of y'all creative, make your creative make sense. Don't do this. Don't do what Elliot just said you did, and then do what you just did last week. Because how? Because why? So, but to Elias, okay. So, whatever Elias' real name is, I'm talking about this government name, the one that his mom and dad gave him with the Social Security. Obviously, that guy can get himself over doing anything. So why not get him over in the evil honky tonk man that we knew and loved when the first Black Champ first started, right? I'm happy about this. I won't even front. I'm more optimistic about it. Partially because I know Vince is gone, and it looks like Triple H was maybe an advocate or the biggest proponent because, when they do the nostalgic NXT like recaps, was it the Drifter? He's not, the Drifter's not going to be a big piece of that doc or that 24/7 or that 365 or that WWE exclusive. Like, he's not going to be. But Elias will definitely can be something special. And I honestly don't understand with the momentum he had in and out of the ring. You know what I'm saying? We can't forget that Elias dropped an album and he did an acoustic little tour.
Yeah,
where he showed up like fucking Hoodie Allen and was just doing his songs and shit. You know what I'm saying? And people were rocking out to him, and he was also winning matches. We thought he was at least going to win the Intercontinental Championship 4 years ago now.
Yeah.
So, happy that it's Elias returning. Optimistic about the return, but I'm going to stop there because every time I speak highly of Elias, he gets hurt or he gets buried.
Yeah. Well, look, man, we'll see what happens and for the rest of the week. And if these announcements are true about all of these premium live events and stuff going away. But I've said a couple of guarantees. You got any?
Yeah, you know what? I do. And it's going to be involving format, right? So just like you mentioned earlier in the show, a lot of people coming back. A lot of things are happening. And this is a guarantee whether you're paying attention to the optics and details or not. I think in the coming weeks, going to see less talk and more 5 to 7 minute matches. You know what I'm saying? And I think that is just an effort to get people more engaged in what's going on. I think that Triple H believes in his roster, including the people that he reached out to get back. And much like the Attitude Era, you know what I'm saying? Like, Dude from DOA didn't need to wrestle Val Venus for a 15-minute, barn burner. Maybe it was just 5 minutes to get the point across that they both out here. You know what I'm saying? There was a point where, like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, you can have Hardcore Holly with his super heavyweight status going up against Mark Henry. And again, you don't need 25 minutes of that. You don't need 5 minutes of talking on that. You just need both of them to come out there and get their paycheck for giving the people a nice little show. Then you can opt to get popcorn or go or take a piss if you like. You know what I'm saying? And I think you just see more of that. I think you see them utilizing more of the 3 hours on Raw and the 2 hours on SmackDown. Will that develop a new star in the mix? Possibly. But right now, I think it's really all about showing the new roster and how we're going to utilize the entire roster, because many people feel that hasn't been done, especially over the last 5 or so years.
Yeah. Well, we also are seeing new people come up. We're seeing Carmelo Hayes wrestle on a dark match / main event. Roxanne Perez debuted on SmackDown. Already see Candice LeRae up on Raw. There's talk of Cora Jade premiering on Raw this week. We saw Sonya Deville come down to NXT to help out Toxic Attraction while Mandy is away. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Mandy on a main roster doing some type of storyline soon as well. So things are getting interesting. And on AEW, former Ring of Honor World Champion Dalton Castle, who I mess with. He's he's the ambiguous wrestler that I actually rock with because he does it right to me. Okay. He's going to challenge Chris Jericho for the Ring of Honor Championship. Also, this coming Tuesday is going to be on a Tuesday, excuse me. John Moxley will be wrestling Adam Hangman Page in Cincinnati with the title on the line. And Orange Cassidy finally won a belt, fam. He's
a year one move finally happening, but okay.
Right. He won that All-Atlantic belt, aka the Intercontinental belt version of AEW and all of that. So
I am the Southeast champion, damn it.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So man, hey, we gave y'all something, man. We gave y'all insight. Shouts out. I can't remember the name. Hold on for a second. I gotta go. Hold on, because I said I was gonna do this, and I gotta go back to the YouTube because I want to shout this person out in particular because I saw a message on YouTube that I thought that was dope. Shouts out to Keith Jackson on YouTube. He said that anytime I come across black wrestling fans who's chopping it up like it's the fellas talking about anything else, it's an instant like and subscribe. So shouts out to you. You get it. This is what we do here. I'm going to let Camp do his thing because it's basically what I'm about to say. So I ain't going to say it all. But what I will say is when we see messages like that, that's why we do the pod. Yes, pass it over to my man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And man, thank you. Like Bank said, thank you for getting it. Thank you for understanding that this is the cool kids table, if you will, to talk wrestling like nobody else, to make it relatable to your everyday life and to highlight the entertainment aspect of it. And obviously your likes, your comments, your shares, your tags, your questions, innuendo, allegations, all of it greatly appreciated, especially in this now, you know what, we can call it the growing community, Bang, but I honestly think the black wrestling community is just becoming a more vocal community because we understand there's more of us out here and there's more of us that want to talk that talk and talk our talk about wrestling, and we are providing a safe space to do exactly that. So thank you to everybody that has ever tuned in. Hey, listen, you can even be Latino. Elliot is a great person. He understands everything that we're talking about. He's a great guy as well. And we don't care what color you are, but we just know that, hey, man, sometimes being black and where you from, wrestling ain't the thing to talk about. But hopefully we keep providing a safe space for you to do exactly that. So, man, listen, whenever you want to talk about wrestling, you know that you need to check out the First Black Champ podcast. Champ, bang. We are out.